Welcome back, dear viewers, and you are still watching The Breakfast Show. And in this segment of our program, we will talk about the importance of space sciences and technology in development and Egypt's strategic plan in this field. And we are joined today by Dr. Islam Abul Magd, Vice President of the National Authority for Remote Sensing and Space Sciences. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, sir, let's first talk about the importance of space sciences and technology in development.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this program. And as you might know, that the space science and technology is intervening with all our daily activities throughout communication, media broadcasting, Earth observation, and mapping the Earth's resources, water resources, agricultural resources, navigation and positioning for aviation, and even on Earth movement by cars. All these activities by space support all developmental plans from communication, e-learning, and education via internet, via capturing images for all resources and making support to the decision makers and the planners using real-time information.
So it is basic in every developmental project.
It's basic, and even it will be increased in the future for integrating in all development plans.
Yes, to meet the demands of the coming projects.
Exactly, yes.
So what is Egypt's status with regard to space science?
I believe Egypt is taking very consolidated steps since the 60s last century, and it's gone up and down, but we are in a position now that we are leading the region and leading the Africa in this field. We do have our education systems that support space science and technology. We do have research centers that support R&D. We do have national authorities for remote sensing and space sciences that started as early as 1970, which was one of the earliest remote sensing centers in the region. And due to the value and the role of space science and technology and remote sensing as a country, we got support from the government and President Sisi himself, and we launched Egyptian Space Agency in early 2018. So Egypt is doing very well, and we have all the basic infrastructures that support education, research and development, and space projects. And you might know that we succeeded to host the African Space Agency in Egypt by the African Union Commission decision in February 2019.
Yes, so we are cooperating with African countries in this field, or we are sharing expertise and projects?
Yeah, we do share our expertise and our knowledge and infrastructures and information with Africa, but we succeeded together with a lead from Egypt to make the African space policy and strategy, which ended up with the space agency, which is hosted in Egypt. This means that you do have the infrastructure, the knowledge, the engineers, the roadmap that support to lead the Africa and support Africa in development of space science and technology. Our relation with the African Union Commission, HRST, Human Resource Science and Technology Commission, to make this implementation plan and how much the Africa growth and Africa Agenda 2063 could be implemented by space science and technology. I think we do know how much space could support this agenda, and we are working together with our brothers and sisters from Africa to make this achievable.
And are we cooperating with other countries like maybe the United Arab Emirates, as we saw last week, the days before that, it achieved a great success in this field?
I think through the Arab League, we do have a cooperation
Yes,
between
with the Arab countries.
Egypt and the Arab countries, and we do have like memorandum of understanding and a cooperation agreement with United Arab Emirates Space Agency, and I think the Sbar al-Amal, or the Hope satellite that goes to Mars, is one of the good achievements to United Arab Emirates. We do work together on how much the Arab states could work together for something similar to what we did in Africa. So we do have some kind of
Yes.
cooperation and support.
So, sir, what are the steps taken by the government to enhance space industry, like including it in curriculums, opening branches in the different universities? So, in your opinion, what are efforts exerted by the government in this field to enhance this industry?
I think the government in the last few years put a lot of attention to the space science and technology and education and research and development in this field. And a lot of technological universities that been established in the last few years, this will fill the gap in all technological and engineering section that support space science and technology. If you look, for example, Zagazig University, they started their own space. If you look to Cairo University, one of the old universities that have aviation and space programs.
So we have it in Cairo University.
We have in Cairo University, we have in other universities like Zagazig University, Helwan, Bani Suef, they started a college for aviation and space. So I believe there is a governmental attention how to build the capacity and make a youth graduate fully professional with this field in different sections or areas of the space. You do have communication, so you do need communication engineers in all fields. You do have navigation positioning. You do have Earth observation. You do have deep space exploration and astronomy. So all these kind of thematic focus area is quite important to leverage the and university degrees.
And do you expect students to be interested in such studies? Do you feel that there is an interest in this field in general?
Actually, yes. There is a lot of, if you make a lot of awareness.
Or we need to make some awareness, yes. This is my question.
Yeah. There is a lot of awareness. We need more awareness, but there is, in the last few years, there is some awareness to the students and make some connection with the students, how much value to study this kind of technological areas. And there's a lot of program now. For example, National Authority for Remote Sensing, they made like educational satellite, how the graduate projects. You know, engineering colleges in the last year, they do a graduation project. How to encourage the graduation projects to make something in space. How to encourage the students to work together in a team and they make some kind of activities and tasks for the satellite subsystems. This trend is being taken in the last few years to make awareness to the students, to encourage students to like to study these courses, to make improve the connectivity between the students, and to make some kind of teamwork in educational satellite. And it's been all over the globe how much these students could think out of the box and make some kind of graduation projects that give them a value and experience in space technology.
So, sir, what are the challenges that face you in your work, and what kind of support is still needed?
Challenges is how to make connectivity between the people to work together, how to make the information accessible to the government professionals and planners. For example, a National Authority for Remote Sensing and Space Sciences is working in using the Earth observation satellite data to make some kind of decisions and support to the government in national projects. If you make this data available on time to the stakeholders and the beneficiaries directly, this would create a huge difference and value. We try to use this kind of data and information to support the stakeholders like Al Wadi Jadid and the exploration of kind of mineral resources, or make some kind of smart agricultures, or to make environmental conservation and hazards mitigation. So I believe one of the challenges is how to make awareness to the stakeholders and beneficiaries how much this value of this information to them, to take their decision on time, at the right place and right time, and at the same time to make this information available from the authorities that is doing this job.
So, sir, if we talk about the National Authority for Remote Sensing and Space Sciences, can you tell us more about its history? When was it established, and why was it established at that time?
Yeah, this is one of the old Earth observation and remote sensing authority in the region. It started as a remote sensing center belonging to the Academy of Scientific Research in 1971.
Yes.
And since that
time, so it has been working for more than
50 years.
50 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yes. This made a very good base of knowledge and understanding of the value of this kind of technology to support decision makers, and then being moved from center to authorities that hosted the space program, and then launched the space agency.
Yes.
And working under the research and development to the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research. We do have the full support from His Excellency Professor Khalid Abdel Ghaffar,
yes,
the Minister, and increased our budget, and we try to link with the stakeholders to support the national projects and research and development. In the last few days, we made, for example, one of the projects to the engineering authority for the armed forces, الهيئة الهندسية.
Yes.
When they got instructed from the President El-Sisi to make some kind of development and understanding of the dump site of Al Amal, Medina Nasr.
Yes.
How this huge area, 385 Feddan acres, how can we change the shape of this area? This is dump site for the last 30 years. Thickness of burden of waste is up to more than 65 meters. How to understand this waste, what kind of waste, and is it organic or non-organic, and how can we plan this huge area for development in this region? Could be a very good project. So national authority is trying to support. It's
crucial in every development project.
Exactly. We do work for the Alamein Al Jadida, South Alamein, North Alamein Al Jadida, all the new cities. How to provide support to Asima area, how to near capital, how to support this flash flooding and water resources for the northwest coast. So we do work in using the satellite data from different technological aspect to support all kind of development. Water resources, agriculture and food security.
So you are cooperating with all ministries, most of them?
Actually, yes. But the challenge is how to increase this cooperation, how to ensure that these ministers and authorities rely on this information from the national authority to ensure the correct information, the right time of the information, the decision of development plans.
So what are the two main major sectors in the NARSS? I think there are two major sectors there.
Yeah, it's a two major sectors. It's a space technology.
The remote sensing.
Remote sensing. Remote sensing is kind of a space activities that, space, you launch satellites. Satellites could be used for video broadcasting, for TV. Yes. Could be for communication, for mobile phones and internet bandwidth. Could be for navigation and positioning for the aviation and even GPS use in the car. Could be for the...
This is remote sensing.
The last one is the remote sensing, is to capture images for the Earth, from the satellite. These images are going to be analyzed and processed to obtain information related to the Earth's features.
Yes.
Could be water, could be agriculture, could be environmental, like COVID-19, for example. We were monitoring a daily basis all the aerosols and air quality that could reflect.
This is possible?
It is possible. We done it on a daily basis at NARS. We make it to monitor all the aerosols, air quality that reflect, does the people and the community do comply with the government regulation of lockdown or not?
Okay.
And we supported the government, and we sent a daily report to the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research to see how much the people comply.
You can also monitor people's movements in the streets.
Exactly, yes. Because this is reflected on the quantity and location of the aerosols and air quality.
Yes.
So a lot of environmental issues.
The COVID-19 pandemic, it's important to cooperate with the Ministry of Health.
Exactly. But the idea is, where is the areas that have much air quality problems and aerosols, and are these for the people who does not comply with the rules of lockdown or not? This was in the last wave of COVID-19. But we still continue to monitor air quality, to monitor flooding and the impact of flash flood on the community. A lot of environmental issues we are working at NARS. So it's not just environment, it's a lot of thematic areas that...
you told me that you are working in the field of observation.
Yes.
So what's exactly this field?
Observation, I said observation is capturing the images from space to the Earth.
Yes.
And we do use, if you look, for example, the land transformation or the migration from agricultural land to urbanized areas, and how to monitor this urban development on the agricultural land. So you need some kind of satellite data that look at the agricultural land every day to let you know what the changes
to monitor the status of all agricultural lands.
Exactly. So there is a lot of programs and satellite data that enable you to look at the development of such urbanized area. So to know what is this...
Again, you are working with the Ministry of Agriculture.
Agriculture. Or urban development or water resources. So we work for example, with the Wadi al-Jadid about the, in Toshka area there is 4 lakes. That is the Mafid Toshka. When you go, the level of the water in the Aswan Dam reservoir, at a certain level, it leakage to this reservoir.
Yes.
We work with Muhafazat al-Wadi al-Jadid, the Wadi al-Jadid governorate,
to monitor the water.
To monitor the water and see what's the value of this water to make agricultural development in this area. So this is another aspect, how to use the water reserved here, and how much water is there, and where is the land that could be used for agricultural development using this quantity of water. So this is again another kind of support to the government and a specific development area of agriculture.
So, sir, also, if we talk about Egypt's development program 2030 development vision, what is the development expected in your agency by the year 2030?
Actually, Higher Education and Scientific Research Ministry, we do have our strategy for education, science and technology. This science and technology or scientific research is strategy is aligned with the 2030 agenda. When you look to the 2030 agenda, you will see a thematic area of how to develop the Egyptian people, how to make the life quality, good life quality, projects of securing the environment and reserving the environment.
This is the
resources.
The plan.
So we took all the 2030 strategy and development to align our research and development according to this thematic area. So if 1.5 million Fadan is one of the strategic development area. We look where can we support this one using the Earth observation to support, for example, north and west coast for the areas that could be developed. If you look to the air quality, we look to the air quality and HACI. So try to align our research and development plan with the 2030 agenda according to this one. And this is to be submitted to the Ministry of Planning, because Ministry of Planning is giving you the guidelines on your budget, which goes to the Ministry of Finance to approve it. According to this kind of research and development plan, you will get your approval of your budget. So we are thinking out of the box how to ensure that your research and development, not just for reports to put in the shelf, but to make some real information and the maps that support the government. So we align all these research and development plans according to the 2030 agenda.
So, sir, also one final question. If we talk about school children, how can we encourage them to learn more about space technology?
This is quite important, that to make our children aware about space. And if you look to NASA, for example,
yes.
we guided from NASA that they make NASA for kids. So we have done the same. We do have a training division at NARS that looked at this kind of strategy. How to make awareness to our students, how to invite school children to our NARS and give some lectures. And
so you plan visits by school children?
We've done it already. We invited a lot of school children to visit us and give some simple information about it. We designed and developed some little curriculum to children to
simple
know
curriculum, yes.
Simple curriculum. We developed a website. We make some competition between the children to look at it and so how to be an astronaut, for example.
Yes.
This child to see what the astronaut looks like, what his dress, what he will see in the space. So all this, we developed this website and we developed this simple curriculum. But this is quite important to make your youth and children understand of this technology from their childhood.
Yes, finally, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Islam Abu al-Majd, Vice President of the National Authority for Remote Sensing and Space Sciences. Thank you, sir, for this precious information. Thank you for being with us. And dear viewers, a short break and we'll be back with our second segment for today, so stay tuned.